These 5 books will make you rich. These 5 books that I'm going to share are your roadmap to success, wealth, and unstoppable growth. Today, I'm breaking down the key lessons that I learned from each book in 2 to 3 minutes, and I'm going to apply it to trading. As traders, we don't have too many people to show us the real mental and grit work that goes into this. Reading books, most people don't want to do. And since I love reading, what I'm going to do for you is map it out, break it down, take away the key concepts, and get you ready for the 2025 year so you can make 6, 7, 8 figures. I don't care, but make some money. One of my favorite books is by Napoleon Hill, and that is Think and Grow Rich. When it comes to Think and Grow Rich, I read this book over 4 times and have been reading it since 2021. But back in 2021, I couldn't actually gain the information and I didn't know how to apply that information. Napoleon Hill studied the success philosophy, the philosophy of success. He talked to hundreds of successful people, Henry Ford, all these guys who are just elite, Dale Carnegie, all these guys who are just elite. And what he wanted to do was help people understand the principles of success. Now, in this book, the main focus of Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill is the fact that he wanted us to focus on understanding our desire, visualization, and our persistence in life. Here's a quick story that he mentioned in a book called 3 Feet from Gold that I found very, very profound. And that story was about a man who essentially had a desire, he had a dream, he had a goal. He visualized it, he could see it, and that was to dig and get gold from the ground and become a wealthy man. One of the things he did was he found a little bit of success, and what he did was go get a bunch of his family members and friends and all these things. He rounded up some money, said, hey, let me hold a couple thousand and I'll get you back on my taxes. You know what I'm saying? But no, he said, hey, let me hold some money. We're gonna get a thing to mine in the ground. I don't know what that's called. That's not my field, you know what I'm saying? But he said, hey, we're gonna mine. We're gonna around us some money, we're gonna mine, and we're gonna mine for gold. We're gonna find the gold because I know exactly where the gold is. And when we find the gold, we all be rich, investment well paid off. Well, what they essentially did was the family said, hey, let's do it. They all got in, they did it. He started digging, digging, and digging, and digging, and digging, and digging. And man didn't stop. He just kept going, and he kept going, and he kept going. Eventually, he got restless. Eventually, he started to get doubt. Eventually, the devil crept in, which we're going to talk about in our next book, Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. So the devil crept in, he started getting fearful. He like, I don't think this is gonna work. You know what? Let's just cut our losses. Let's just stop, go from there. And essentially what he did was told everybody, hey, hey, I gotta pack it up. It's not gonna work. I appreciate y'all supporting me. I'm gonna pay y'all back, like I said. And essentially what he did was take that machine that he had, he stopped mining, he sold it off for parts. The person who bought the machine actually got the machine, went to somebody who's very informative and understanding of this mining situation, put it to use, and 3 feet later, that person who bought that machine from him found the gold that he was looking for. 3 feet. So you need to ask yourself, am I 3 feet away from my goals? What if I was that close? What if I was 3 years? What if I was 3 days? What if I was 3 months? What if I was 3 hours away from hitting my goal? Think about that. Now, before we wrap this book up, one of the main things that Napoleon Hill talks about in Think and Grow Rich is a definite purpose. I got this on my laptop right now. I can show you. It's upside down, but it's a definite purpose. It's exactly every day when I wake up, when I go to sleep, when I open my laptop, I see it and I'll read it 3 times a day, 2 to 3 times a day, because it's very important to understand where we're going in life, understanding what our purpose is. Definite purpose, real simple, is, hey, what do you want to earn? How fast do you, what is that date exactly? What are you giving up in exchange for this? Because there's nothing, you cannot get anything for nothing. So, hey, what do I want to earn? Or what is that goal that I have? What am I giving up for this goal? When is it due and when is it to be completed? And then map it all out in words, a system, a plan, and then read it 3 times a day. You can read it 5 times a day. Try to do it out loud because that is very important. Let's get into the next book. Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill is listen, y'all don't even understand. This is a banger book. It's probably better than Think and Grow Rich, but it's not. But it's very close. So, okay, let me put it like this. Think and Grow Rich, you can tell I'm hella passionate about this. Think and Grow Rich is, hey, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to focus on. Outwitting the Devil is, don't focus on this. This is what you don't do. This is what you avoid. Learn from your mistakes. And the main one is procrastination and fear. Drifting off or just being fearful to take action. The devil used that against us, and God don't like weak motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So get tough. So the concept of drifting, this goes very, very deep, but drifting in life is essentially the opposite of what I just told you to do. See, drifting in life, we don't have a purpose. We don't have something to focus on. We don't know where we going. We just waking up, letting life kind of hit us. Me, I got a calendar. I got daily goals. I got checklists. If I don't check off everything on that, you lost the day. I got X's on my calendar right there. I'm not drifting. I'm locked in. Right now, you don't even know what time it is. It's 2:28 a.m. because I'm here locked in because I want to give value to y'all. I'm trying to help y'all because I read these damn books and some of them long, man. I read Outwit and the Devil and I listen to it. So understand that drifting, that can entice fear, that can bring fear into you because you don't have a destination. You don't have a map to where you're going. Imagine if you was driving to California. My boy Andre, shout out to Andre. He always uses this example. What if you were driving to California without a map? How scared would you be? Yeah, you wouldn't know where you were going. You would probably end up in Alabama in the wrong direction. You feel me? Understand we need to have a map and know exactly where we are going. So the simple and easiest way to face fear and drifting is write down everything. Write down those fears. Write down what you have. Question yourself. The questions we ask are a direct reflection of what life we have. If we ask ourselves better questions, then we'll have a better life. So ask yourself, what do I fear? What is that thing that pop in my head when I'm starting to make moves or starting to do what I do? What is the thing that people told me? What fears do people place upon me? When you write these fears down, then write the exact opposite, write the synonym. So one thing I did, for example, was literally back in September 2024, I was like, hey, maybe I got issue with money. Maybe I'm actually frustrated with money. Like, or I don't know what it is. So I wrote down, hey, what comes to my head? Hey, it's hard to make $100,000. It's hard to do this. Money isn't abundant. It's scarce. Like, money don't grow on trees, all these things. I wrote them down. I crossed them the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? And then I literally wrote the synonym. Money is abundant. It's an abundant resource. Making $100,000 is one of the easiest things I'm gonna do in my life. Literally, to a T, every fucking day. I wrote them $100 fake bills, put it on my wall, and I read it every day. I even listened to it in my ear so I could reshape that belief. Figure it out, write it down, and conquer it. The next book is Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life by Wayne Dyer. And this book was elite. It was actually given to me or shown to me by a YouTuber. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to get that book because I need to change my thoughts. This actually started my process of figuring out what was wrong with me, figuring out my paradigm, shifting the way I view the world, shifting everything. One of the best quotes that I got from this book is when you change the way you view things, then the things that you view change. It's different. But in the book, it has about 82 precepts, and it's like little poems, little readings that's from like a bunch of years ago. It's called the Tao. Me, I study Stoicism, but it's a thing called Taoism. Taoism is all about alignment, all about just being within self, understanding the internal self, understanding who you are as a person, changing the way you feel, being able to live within yourself and not through external things. See, a lot of people for example, me, I used to live through food. Like, I don't do partying, smoking, drinking, nothing. I literally don't do nothing fun right now. Grinding, business, doing everything I can to be successful, learning all these things. But one thing I did was like, hey, I'm gonna enjoy me some tacos. Saying, oh, little church's chicken. All right, I'm gonna work out stuff, but I'm gonna get some church's chicken. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do what I do. I might get some pizza. You know what I mean? You want a slice? Oh, they don't make slices. Give me a box. You know what I'm saying? So I was living through that, and I had to learn how to live internally. I had to learn how to get that pleasure from God, from the universe, from my internal self. All seriousness. And one of the things you need to understand is when you shift your thoughts, you shift your outcomes. Everything that's going on in your life is a direct reflection of how you think and how you feel throughout the day. So you just need to change the way you think, change what you think about, and then you'll change those outcomes. The best thing you could do, actionable right now, I know I told y'all this would be 2 to 3 minutes, but I want to give y'all in depth because, man, these books are great. You want to wake up every morning and show gratitude. When I woke up this morning, I grabbed my Bible, I read it, I prayed over my Bible. I told God everything I was grateful for. I'm grateful for this air, I'm grateful for this heat that's going on right now in the house. I'm grateful for, the clothes in my body. I'm grateful for my fiance Kathy and everything that she do for me, everything that she been through with me, the fact that she's still here, alive and well, blessed. You feel me? I'm grateful for my mom, Dukes, and everybody. I'm grateful for my being able to have Wi-Fi and being able to make YouTube videos. I'm grateful for these things. These are the things you want to start to implement in your life. Gratitude. The next book I want to tap into is The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. Listen, this book is elite because I read it once and I was like, what the hell am I reading? You feel me? I literally was just like, what? You feel me? But it was a good book. I understood some stuff like compounding and tails and all these things, but read a book. I'll get more in that. But the main point of the book was just understanding how we actually think about wealth. See, we grew up in a different light than most people. We grew up during COVID-19, things like that. When we started becoming adults, it was 2020, 2019. I got kicked out of college, not because of anything bad, but because of COVID, which forced me and my fiance now to actually move in when we was only 7 months together. We ended up finding an apartment, and then going through that, we had a ton of money during COVID, right? But then we got inflation, 2020, we got all these things, and we knocking everything down. And this entire time, we was building businesses and failing businesses and building them, making money, losing money. So we went through a different economic time than somebody who went through something during the Vietnam War. So during the Vietnam War, when everybody got back, housing, things like that, they wanted to kick it up. They wanted to, they wanted people to invest in those kind of things. They wanted people to spend money, spend money. Now people are saving money. Our parents and people like that grew up in times that are a lot different from us. So for example, in the book he made, hey, people in New Zealand, they never actually experienced an economic crisis. So when it comes to spending money and saving cash, they don't even think about these things or putting it in the markets or whatever. But when you come back over here, we've been through a lot of these things. Depending on when you grew up and when you was born and what you've seen, you look at money a lot different. Some people like to invest in bonds. Some people will never invest in bonds. Some people say stock market is the best. Some people say real estate is the best. Some people say real estate is terrible because of the crash or whatever. Some people say, no, that blessed me. One of the examples he made in the book was a president. I can't remember. I think it was Kennedy, and it was around the Depression or something like that. I'm not sure, but I'm not that on history, you feel me? But essentially what he was saying was a lot of people was going through hardship during those times, and Kennedy was rich. So people were saying, how can he be president when he don't even know the realness that we're going through? But he was actually in war, so he's seen both sides of it. For example, like me, I went to private school, but I grew up in the city. I seen things that most kids won't see on the negative side, and I'm not proud of that, and I don't want to relive that, so I ain't gonna talk about it. But essentially, I was able to see both sides, so I was able to make decisions based on that and be able to maneuver myself through. So based on how you see money, it's purely subjective. It's not an objective thing. For example, wealth is just more behavior than knowledge, right? A lot of people think, oh, because you have all this knowledge on money, you're going to make a lot of money. No, it's more about behavior because we attach emotions to it. Physics is actually input, you get a specific output. Money is you could get an input and you get this output, then you put another person, you get a different input, and you put this output. You can put the same input, get different outputs because different people, different behaviors, different people understand money a certain way and they look at money a certain way. There's a ton more to this book, like compounding, understanding luck, and all these kind of things. But the most important thing is just focus on long-term financial habits. Focus on the good things. Like we always talk about discipline, these things. Just focus on building strong habits when it comes to your money. And the last book we are going to talk about is the 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. This is the one. I'm telling you, this book is elite. Now, all of these books elite, and they all got their own. Like Napoleon Hill, man, go study him. He like Ryan Holiday, the obstacle is the way, ego is the enemy. That's like young Napoleon Hill. No disrespect. Feel me? Like, but Grant Cardone, that's my guy. He put me onto a lot of stuff, taught me a ton about real estate. I used to wholesale real estate back in 2021, and I was making deals. But that's not what I wanted to do, but I will be getting back to that. What I want to talk about is Grant Cardone always talked about 10X rule, talked about setting massive goals. If your goal, look at it like this. Dan Martell mentioned it yesterday. I was listening to a podcast. He said, just add a zero. When it comes to business and everything, just add a zero. So in trading, when you want to level up, when you want to get to a new goal, when you see consistency, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but what I would do is simply, if I'm risking $200 a trade, maybe add a zero, start risking $2,000 a trade. If I say I want to make 500 to 1,200 a day, then like maybe add a zero, 5,000 to 12,000 a day. That don't mean you're gonna get to that goal, but it means you set your standard higher. It means you expect more of yourself. Yeah, it requires a different mentality, but you build that mentality, and that's what he talk about later in the book when he go over a bunch of different success principles. He go over at least 32 of them. One of the main things that I love about this book is the 10X rule allows you to increase your effort. Most of us overestimate, I believe it's called the Parkinson's law. We over something like that. I can't remember. I study a lot of math, but we overestimate what we're actually capable of. A lot of times we overestimate what we're actually capable of and we underestimate the effort. So what you have to do is 10x the rule, 10x the goal, so you can overestimate the effort, and then you still hit a smaller goal or you fly past that goal. So just choose an area of your life to 10x in 2025. Now this could be It could be business. That's what I do it for. It could be your weight, whatever. It could be your family, your finances, your income, whatever it is. It could be 10x, like reading a book. Hey, I'm gonna read 10 times the pages I've been reading. If you're reading 2, then get to 20. If you're reading 20, get to 200. Now I'm playing, but seriously, this is how you level yourself up. This is how you increase your effort. This is how you become a high quality person, a high overachieving individual, and that's what I want for you all. So now that we're at the end of all these books, I do want to apply them to trading really, really quick, and it's going to be very fast. When it comes to Think and Grow Rich, you need to have a definite purpose when it comes to trading. Understand exactly what you want from trading, what you're going to give up, and when are you needing to be completing this. Have a definite purpose, write it down. When, how, what am I giving up? And go from there. Write a plan down, read it every day. When it comes to outwitting the devil, understanding trading, we need to have a clear focus, because if we don't be in the details where the devil is, then he gonna beat us there. Understand that we can't be drifting around. We can't be waking up late. We can't be. We have to journal. We have to be focusing on these things, because if we don't, we cannot outwit the devil. When it comes to change your thoughts, change your life, as a trader, you just need to think about how you view the market. Think about how you view money. Think about how you view systems. Think about how you view discipline. Change the way you view that, and it becomes very easy to stick to them. If you believe that discipline is very hard to stick to something for a long time, but then you say, nah, it's mad easy to stick to something for a long time. That's what I do. That's who I am. Feel me? Atomic Habits. Go read the book. Then it becomes very easy. When it comes to Psychology of Money, The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel, understand that we view money a lot differently than somebody else. People really can't tell you what to do with your money. I can show you how to trade, but I can't teach you how to make profits, because you view money a lot different from me. The same trade that I take, I put 5K on, you might put $1 on and take $2 when you see it, but it went to $50. You understand? When you could have put $100 on there and it went to $5,000. It does not matter. You need to understand the difference when it comes to trading. And the last thing, when it comes to 10x rule, we just went over that. 10x your goals. Turn it up a notch. Don't settle for less. I don't give a damn what you think or what limitations you set or what somebody else said to you. Do it now. 10x your goals. If you got a goal to make 20K, add a zero. We underestimate our effort and we overestimate what we're capable of. So we need to overestimate the goal so we can overestimate our effort. That way we can give a 10x effort. We can achieve massive success. One thing Grant Cardone did say in his book is success is your duty, obligation, and responsibility. So go be successful. We have a goal to hit 100,000 subscribers. So if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button so you can become a professional trader with professional profits.